What's up, y'all? Thank you for being here. Sorry, I know we had to reboot the system, but technology be doing the most at times. But we are here. We're so excited to have this conversation again. My name is Shanti. I am an Atlanta native. Grew up maybe 15 minutes from here, graduate of Benjamin E. Mays High School in the SWATs. Got my start working in the music industry, working with artists like Outkast and Usher and TLC. A few folks y'all might have heard of, so it's been pretty awesome. And so I ended up going through some of my own mental health challenges, and my father died by suicide, and came really close to having some dark thoughts of my own and some ideation, but got the help that I needed and started this little hashtag called Silence the Shame. And now look, we got Silence the Shame University. Y'all give it up for STSU. That is so amazing. And so we just really appreciate everyone who's here tonight for supporting Silence the Shame as we continue to push the culture forward with thoughtful conversations on mental health and wellness to empower and educate communities. So I know y'all really ain't here for me, so I'm about to bring out this next young man that y'all are here to see. So it is my honor to introduce this talented young man, Trevor Jackson. Born in 1996, Trevor is an Indiana native who embarked on his performing journey through tap dancing, eventually landing the role of Simba in The Lion King on stage. He later relocated to Los Angeles to pursue his passion for entertainment. With a career spanning over 20 years, Trevor has made his mark in film, television, theater, and music. His music, characterized by its genre-bending nature, showcases his versatility and creativity. Similarly, his acting portfolio boasts notable performances in Sony's Superfly, Netflix Burning Sands, and most recently, Freeform's hit show Grownish. How many of y'all seen Grownish? Okay, me too. Auntie watches Grownish, all right. I will admit to that. Throughout his career, Trevor has collaborated with renowned songwriters and multi-award-winning producers such as The Underdogs, Diane Warren, Neo, and Tank. His recent EP, Heads Up, gears Trevor for a remarkable year ahead, and we have the pleasure to speak to him today. So come on, y'all. Let's give a warm ATL, AUC welcome for Trevor Jackson.
Sorry, I'm limping. I'm not trying to be cool. I have an injury.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. You need some ice or something?
I'll be all right.
Okay. Anything you need, Auntie got you, okay?
Man, thank you.
All right. So, wow, you're in the ATL. Welcome to the A.
I love the A. It's one of my favorite places.
What do you like about the A? Tell us what you like about the A.
Love. Every time I come here, I get a lot of love, and I get to, I love being around this many black people. It's always beautiful. Yeah.
So, what are you most looking forward to this trip? I know it's kind of a quick trip, but...
Talking to you.
Aw. My new nephew. I'm so grateful. All right, y'all. This is so exciting, and, I really applaud you for wanting to have this sort of conversation around mental well-being, an intimate conversation. We have more people. Come on in, y'all. Come on down. Trevor Jackson is in the building. Come on down. But, really excited, and we wanted to talk to you on a more personal level and talk about your mental health journey,
Yeah.
And Silence the Shame is an organization that helps educate the community on decreasing the stigma around mental health. So we wanted to just ask you a couple questions and get to know you a little bit better.
Let's get into it.
All right, here we go. Question number 1.
Yeah.
So, first of all, congrats on the new EP, Heads Up, again.
Thank you.
Give it up for Heads Up.
Thank you, guys.
And I know it is highly anticipated. Can you tell us what was the inspiration behind the music and what the listeners can expect?
Yeah, I was in a toxic place when I was making this album. I was a guy on the side. There was a girl in a relationship, and I feel like I always heard songs talking about the side chick, the side girl, and I was like, sometimes guys are in that position, and, we ain't gonna let you know, but sometimes it's uncomfortable. We might be like, hey, it's fine, but sometimes you might really love the person or, feel jealous, and all these emotions that happen. I think today's dating world is way different than it was back in the day, so I was just trying to be honest about how it is, trying to date, DMing or texting or all these things. So that's kind of the place I wrote the album from. And Heads Up specifically, that song, Tonight She's at Her Man's House, I was in the studio, and I was like, hey, come hang out, we're just working, whatever. I would, but I'm at my man's house. Boom, hangs up.
Oh,
We got to make a song about this immediately. And that's kind of how I made that song.
But I think that's what's so unique, right? Because I have a career in entertainment from the marketing side, but true songwriters write about songs that people can relate to.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
We were just
yeah.
talking about that upstairs. People are people.
Yeah, those are the fastest songs I think I write, are when they just literally just happen. Just real human stories. And just being honest and real. I think that's how you get the effect.
I love
you
that.
want.
So speaking of songwriting, how does it affect your mental well-being, and does it serve as a release, a challenge, or a little bit of both?
Release. I think, so my obsession with music is because it's proven to me that nothing negative that happens in my life means a negative ending. So every time I've kind of really gotten sad or been through a lot of stuff, I write a song, and then maybe it'll be 5 years later, 10 years later, I listen to the same song and I'm smiling ear to ear, or, super inspired. And it just kind of shows me throughout life when I go through things like that, non-musically, just through everyday stuff, that it'll get better. It doesn't stay bad, and that there's purpose in everything that happens. So, music has been the truth for me, with that. So that's why I do it. I do it for survival, Yeah. I wouldn't be here, I don't think, if I couldn't write it out and sing it out and, put the harmonies together. And, I'm down there for hours recording myself, editing and things like that.
Set the mood for us. What is like the writing room like, or the studio? What's the ambiance like?
Yeah, it depends how depressed I am. No, I'm kidding. I think I just always start with melody, wherever I'm feeling. I feel like there's two different sides of me. There's like a super real side, and then there's like, hey, I'm trying to make a smash right now. Like, I just want to make a song that everybody's gonna be like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when it's one of those, I'll kind of just do a melody and then find the melody I can listen to over and over and over and over again, and it doesn't get boring, and then I'll put words to it. And then if it's super real, I just kind of say exactly, it can be a text that somebody sent me that, hurt. And I'm like, okay, well, that's got to go in there. And maybe that'll kind of start the butterfly effect of the next bars or whatever like that. But
I love that. How many of y'all listen to music when you're feeling down? Show of hands. Right? Music is such a healing source, right? And power.
The vibrations.
100%.
Yeah.
And music can like transform you and take you somewhere else. I know when I'm having bad. Last week was just the 5th anniversary of my sister passing unexpectedly.
Sorry.
And thank you. And I think I listened to music the whole day because I just needed to take my mind somewhere else as I tried to think about her and remember her, you know. But anyway, back to you, Trevor. When the cameras are off and the spotlight fades, who is Trevor Jackson?
Still trying to figure that out. But I think that's the beauty of it. I don't think I feel like once you figure it out, it's boring. You know what I mean? I think so. Just a quick little information. I went through like a serious separation, and I hurt my leg kind of all at the same time. A lot of stuff kind of happened to me all at one time this year. And at first I was like mad, and then I was like, oh, now I'm curious again about life. I feel like I had all the answers. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, this is how my life's gonna end up. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. And it just kind of felt like every day felt the same. I didn't really feel, just kind of felt numb, And then when this stuff happened, it kind of shook my world up. And although it was negative, it kind of gave me, like when you're on a roller coaster and you expect a drop in the stomach, I'm getting that feeling all the time now.
Yeah.
Hey, lights.
Thank you. Thank you, lights. Thank you, Nia.
Appreciate the lights.
And we need to see this guy.
I felt like I was in the conference you saw. We started talking like we was on the radio or something. But basically, I think, it kind of shook me up and got me more excited and had me asking questions. So to answer your question, who is Trevor Jackson? Still figuring it out, but I know that I'm on the positive, uplifting, helping side of the world, whatever that means. But that's where I know I'll always be, regardless how I feel.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how do you take care of your mental health on a day-to-day basis? Do you have a certain ritual you do in the morning? So are there any habits or routines that you found beneficial?
I try to do body scans. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Body scans?
Tell us more.
You can just YouTube it, and it kind of just is somebody walking you through you feeling each part of your body, Be like, okay, now go to your shoulders. It helps me. When I do it, I kind of feel way more relaxed. I do a lot of...
okay, wait, give me a little... What do I do, with my arms?
No, you just lay there, but you hear somebody's voice, and they're like, okay, now, relax. Because you don't even know stuff that you do.
You listen to it while you're laying there.
You could be sitting here right now, and your jaws and you don't even realize it until somebody's like, hey, just relax every part of your body. So it's just kind of being more in tune with your body and breathing and things like that. Definitely helped. When I wasn't injured, I was surfing. That was my main thing that kept me... Wait,
you're from Indiana. When did you get into surfing?
So when I was on tour with the Lion King, I was in Hawaii. I was 11 years old. I skateboarded for a long time, since I was 5 or 6.
Okay.
And then I went to Hawaii, and I was like, oh, they're like skateboarding on the water. I want to do that. And then I remember I did it, and then I didn't do it for like 10 years. I've been in LA for about 15. So I've probably been surfing now consistently for like 7 years.
Okay.
I love it.
I love that.
Absolutely love it. When you see nature and like the world, everything that God like touched, untouched, you know, from us, you know what I'm saying? When you see just the flow, everything, it kind of like, okay, I just need to kind of sit back, you know, and stop trying to be so in control of life and let it flow, you know what I mean?
I love that. Okay, where's your mom? Mama
She's in
Cam?
the back somewhere.
She's in the back.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, so I'm having a not fan girl. I'm having a fan auntie moment. It's so weird. Like I feel like I'm just waiting for you to be like, hey freshman, like to somebody in the audience. Like you really are like you are on TV. Like you know how you meet some people and they're completely different. But I just want to say I think you're a dope actor.
Thank you so much.
I had to break the script for a second. It
Thank
was a
you
little
very
weird.
much.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
And I think it's important, you know, I tell people, like you said you like to surf and you do the body scans, like how many of y'all have, you know, self-care routines and things that you do to kind of reset yourself in the morning? It's super important.
That's super
And we
good.
don't all share the same, you know, ideas and things that we do, and that's okay, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You got to find what works,
What works
for you.
for
Talk
you,
a little
what
bit
works
more
for
about
you.
that.
There's no one way, right way to you know, finding yourself. So yeah, try everything.
Absolutely. All right, Trevor, another question. In a world where many people tend to keep their feelings to themselves, how do you personally prioritize being aware of your emotions and finding healthy outlets to express them?
That was an amazing question. We need it one more time. One more time.
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely. How do you personally prioritize being aware, right? Just constantly being attuned to how you're feeling and kind of getting through that from a day-to-day basis?
I think I try to avoid it sometimes, if I'm being honest. You know, I think even when I think we're always aware, but it's like, it's almost like when you see an issue with yourself that you've built a lot of yourself on top of, when you approach that and you might have to destroy that, you have to start over sometimes. And a lot of us are like, man, I'm kind of in a flow right now. This little like thorn in my side, I don't really like want to acknowledge it because I got all this stuff to do. So I feel like I'm in between. You know, sometimes I do deal with it, other times I numb it. But I think again, the breathing for me is like kind of how I can just calm down and be like, okay, how do I really feel about the situation? And I just try to be happy. I try to put myself around people that, you know, speak life into me or do things that you know, bring me joy. But the music is honestly the number one thing. Like whenever I'm feeling any kind of way, I just run downstairs, start making music, which sometimes can be good. Sometimes I gotta actually deal with it, but other times I just make a song and yeah.
Have you ever heard of the 4-4-8 or the 4-4-4 breathing technique? Okay, y'all, everybody sit up like this.
Oh shoot.
A little demonstration. All right, so sometimes if you're really stressed out or, you know, you got a test coming up or you walk into class and they give you a pop quiz that you ain't know nothing about and you have no time to study and you're stressed, but you just sit there, and so you can close your eyes for a few seconds. Close your eyes. Breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold it for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and do a long exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a long exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now you can open your eyes. It really works, y'all. Sometimes I'll be at the red light and people be, you know, trying to cut you off, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna yell what I want to yell. I'm just gonna stop and breathe.
Yeah, you gotta breathe.
And it actually resets you in the moment.
Yeah,
so
it does,
you can
it
add
does.
that to your repertoire.
Yes, oxygen is key.
That's right. All right, next question. This is just a general question. When you're looking for some comfort food, right? Because not every day is a great day. What's your go-to comfort food?
Well, I'll say what happened as soon as I landed in Atlanta. I was like, driver, we need to go to Bojangles. Can we go to Bojangles? They don't have one in LA. I need 2 sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits, 2 pieces of cheese, bow rounds, biscuits and gravy. Large Sprite, no ice.
Okay.
Oh,
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Did
I
they
felt
have
very
it in
comforted.
Indiana?
Huh?
Did they have it in Indiana?
No.
Or? Okay.
They don't have it in the Carolinas. And I mean, here, I'm sure there's other places, but the 2 places I've been that have it are Carolinas and here.
I love that.
Where else? Yes. Here? It was up this way? I think we went like past is the airport this way?
It's south.
Okay, yeah, that's the one we went to.
Yep.
Yep, I'm turned around.
Okay, that's okay.
But bomb. I
Bojangles.
like some breakfast food, sausage,
Okay.
egg. What else? Taco Bell. I go ham.
Okay.
I know.
Uh-oh.
But it's good, okay? The flavor is on point. Maybe the nutritious part isn't, but It's delicious.
comfort food.
It's comfort
okay.
food, exactly.
We don't do it a lot. Every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Every now and then we're entitled to it. All right, I love that. So success comes in, success in any field comes with its challenges, right? Whether you're an actor, whether you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, a writer, record producer, what have you, it's tough for a lot of us. Who are the people you turn to for support, and how do you manage to keep those relationships so strong?
I will be, I'm super grateful for my family, my mom, my dad, and my brother.
Woo-hoo.
My mom's right there.
Y'all say hi, Mama Cam.
Yeah. She's pretty cool. No, but I'm really blessed with my family, you know, and as I've traveled and like met so many people, I realize how blessed I am. Just have accepted me, supported me since I was, you know, this big. And I can just be, you know, metaphorically speaking, naked in front of them and like just kind of bear exactly who I am, and they'll love me regardless. So that's something that I definitely lean on. God, I pray, I go to church, I talk to my pastor. He'll hit me up when I should be hitting him up, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, what are you trying to do, God? You trying to do something? So things like that, yeah, definitely keep me at bay and keep me in peace, yeah.
I like that. When I worked in the entertainment industry, so I went from being an intern to executive vice president, working over a 25-year career span in music. And, you know, I had some letdowns. Thank you. But kind of what we were talking about with friends and family and people that you lean on, you know, there were people who I really thought were my friends.
Yeah.
They
definitely
were really,
not. No. That's why when you ask me friends, I only name family members. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some friends, but majority of my friends who I thought, you know, and it's the older you get, the more the levels you pass. You're like, whoa, you really wasn't. Oh wow. Mm-hmm. And it hurts when you are an artist or a good person. Like,
right.
I feel like the harder you love, the deeper the hurt is, right? Mm-hmm. And because I got to come out here and be on a stage, I would be crying every day if I felt everything that I feel, you know, on a daily basis. But yeah, I love so hard. So when I have those moments in my life, it feels like a death. It feels like a breakup. It feels like whoa, I really gave you and I was genuine. Yeah. And people, because of who I am, think that the way that I am is fake, or, oh, he's just trying to be like, I'm this way with everybody.
Oh my God, I love that you
know
said that, because people often took my kindness for granted in the entertainment industry. And Nicole, who works on your team, I met many years ago. Y'all give it up for Nicole. She was one of the genuine ones and was the same to me after I walked away from a huge $500,000 a year check, corner office and all of that.
Ooh!
It was good when it was good, but it was bad when it was bad, and I had my own challenges. And I left it all on the table and walked away.
Yeah,
but she still treated me with dignity and respect. And so I appreciate having the wherewithal, right? And the discernment. Y'all, that's the word. If you don't know it, look up discernment. It's like one of my new favorite words. You gotta have discernment to know who's real and who's not. And who can you trust, especially someone like yourself who's in entertainment.
What I want to say to that real quick is, don't be hard on yourself when you lead with good intentions, right? Like, I mean, obviously, don't be a fool too many times, but I find a lot of times people, they blame themselves for what people do, you know what I mean? And don't blame yourself. People are gonna be people. As long as you lead with love and lead with your heart and do right, it's gonna come back. So, don't blame yourself for people's actions, and everybody ain't the way that you are. That's what my dad and my brother told me, because I take everything personal, and I'm trying to work on that, but everything isn't, and everybody's not like you, Trevor. It's not, you know, and I was like, wow, it's just crazy to think that way. Like, how can my mind work like this and then someone be in the same position? And anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great points. So we know you have a busy life.
Yeah, kinda.
Actor, artist, singer-songwriter, probably a philanthropist soon. I know you do a lot of work in the community. How do you maintain a healthy work life? So it says balance, but I like to think of it as a work-life rhythm.
Yeah.
It's never quite balanced out. So how do you deal with all the ebbs and flows?
That's a good
Just
question.
a rigorous schedule.
Yeah, I mean, by the grace of God, to be honest, I really don't know. I'll be sleeping.
Like, do you say one day a week I'm not gonna work, or you just kind of play it however it goes?
It depends on what it is. Like, if it's something that I am willing to exchange, you know, like sacrifice a little bit of sleep for a project that could, you know, help me, you know, and my family later down the line, then I'll do that. But I'm getting better at that, you know, the self-love, the self, you know.
Boundaries.
Yeah, the boundaries. But it's hard when you want something so bad, you know. You're working towards something, you're like, and a lot of things that we watch is like, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say everybody, but me, I'm obsessed with superhero movies, right? And I'm like, okay, the hero's gotta take the brunt of the pain, and you know, it's that person. So sometimes I just try to find that, like you said, that balance or that rhythm.
Favorite superhero?
Silver Surfer, he's tatted right here.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Any Silver Surfer fans?
No, because you would have screamed. Oh, we got one.
We got one? Okay.
We got one, two Silver Surfer lovers, 3.
I love that. That's cool. All right, so your involvement in projects like Grownish has allowed you to portray complex characters. How do you approach representing mental health struggles realistically on screen? Because I really liked that mental health was incorporated into some of the scripts and the plot within Grownish. I appreciated that.
Yeah. Luckily, they're just such amazing writers. I didn't have too much, and I didn't want to. I just felt like they had their system down.
Yeah.
And I just came in and I did my part. But I always said that being a part of that show always took the load off of me in terms of, when you grow up and you start seeing like behind the veil of the world, right? The world's kind of like Disneyland, and then you kind of grow up and you get to go backstage and people are taking their masks off. I'm like, whoa, that's not what I thought it was. Everybody's really evil, and not to get me, no, I'm kidding. But that's just kind of like how I felt when I started like seeing the world, you know what I mean? I was like, wow. And then you feel all this weight. You're like, wait, what can I do? How can I help? Like, I feel overwhelmed. Like, this is bad. The world is like this. What can I do? And being a part of that show took some of that weight off my shoulders. I feel like it did a lot of the work. It had important conversations. And I think it brought a lot of unity amongst people who maybe didn't understand someone else's point of view. And I like because the show never said, hey, this is how you should feel, or this is how you should feel. It just presented 2 different perspectives, and it created conversation, and conversation creates, understanding.
And that's what's so important, I think, at the stage that you all are in, right? You're discovering, you're learning, a lot of really important movements were started, from people at your age, and it's important that you feel like you're seen and you're heard.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Especially when you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
I love that. How many of y'all feel like you're often not seen or heard? And so that is what we're trying to change, even just with these conversations with Silence to Shame, and why it's so important that you showed up for yourselves today so that you can, find healthier ways to cope, or find healthier ways to have these type of conversations amongst your friends, amongst your family members, your peers, your fellow students. Because we want everybody to feel like they're seen and they're heard.
Yes.
And that's what I think that show did.
Yeah.
It gave people a voice, so that's really dope. All right, so my next question for you, Trevor. Rejection is a common part of the entertainment industry.
Sorry, I had to laugh at that. Yeah.
It is, right?
Yeah.
So how do you personally deal with not getting a role you wanted, and or even just with your music, not getting the same reaction that you might want from a label head or a radio station or something? And what advice would you give to others who are dealing with either rejection or just getting those no's, but trying to find ways to turn those no's into a yes?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I've been told 1 trillion times. So when it's funny, people will be in LA, like newcomers and stuff, and they're like, oh man, I didn't get it. I'm like, welcome. It's a long road. And I think when that happens, it kind of just makes you better. And I say, if musically, just be dope. You know what I'm saying? That's easier said than done, but I think it's like, they don't get it, then write a harder verse, make a better song. And if not that, I say go the other route and just be more honest with your music, because like we were talking about, if it's a human story, humans are gonna love it. But yeah, it's not easy, and it's not for the the faint of heart. Like it does take a certain type of energy. Yeah. I remember, I think it was Will Smith or somebody said you got to be kind of delusional to do this, because to have everybody in front of you being like, no, it's not good enough, and you still be like, yeah, I am. You got to be a little crazy. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely hard, but I will say this: everything I didn't get, I'm glad I didn't get. At the time, I was ticked off. Yeah, we can clap on that. But at the time, I was boiling mad. What? Not me, huh? I was that energy, right? Yeah. Then it happens. It's like, that wouldn't have been right for me. That wouldn't have made sense. Yeah, so kind of just giving it after I'd leave an audition or finish a song, it's done, and what happens with it happens with it. So I think that's the energy, I try to move in.
I love that. You really do, sometimes those doors aren't meant to be open, right? I do the same thing. But also, if it's something you are really passionate about and you feel like you are really talented or you've done your best and you want to keep fighting for it, that's okay too.
Keep going.
I remember when we were first working Outkast back in the day. I don't know if any of y'all saw the Freak
I've
Dick
never heard of that band.
Shanti was in the Freak Dick documentary talking about Outkast. But my point is, though, we got told so many times that they were too country or it wasn't going to work. And, the late Rico Wade, who just passed away, may he rest in peace, from Organized Noise, he and other folks at the label, they were like, we know this is great. Yeah. So we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep pushing. So sometimes you got to believe in yourself also.
Uber, Apple, social, you know what I mean? Facebook.
Go. That's right.
Everything. All of these billion-dollar corporations, they had an idea and everybody was like, that's stupid. That's not gonna work. And you know, you just keep moving with that faith in that heart. And I think belief is so strong. And I wanna say this too, talking positively about yourself is super important. I feel like, you know, a lot of us will defend others before we defend ourselves.
Wait, hold. Say that again for the people in the back. What?
A lot of us will defend others before we defend ourselves, and I found myself doing that. And I remember I didn't tell myself I was proud of myself until I was 24 years old, and I bawled. I was in the mirror bawling, like, wait, what? Like, how have I heard this from everybody in my life? People I don't even know. Oh my God, I love you, Trevor. I'm proud. And I've never told myself that. I've never been like, hey man, good job. Hey, you're awesome. Hey, I'm proud of you. You come along. You know, never gave myself that. Those words. So talking positively about yourself, about your idea, it's gonna work. I am strong, I am beautiful, I am gonna make it, I am, you know, gotta keep doing that, even if it doesn't look like it, you know, because we create our reality. And I've just been realizing that more, trying to like do more self-affirmations and things like that. And it has an effect on my day. I do it at the beginning of the day turns out different.
Trevor up here dropping nuggets, y'all. Yes. I love it, young black man. All the positivity. This is awesome. All right, so your journey in the entertainment industry has truly been inspiring, and we've talked about this, all that you've been able to do thus far. Can you share with us a pivotal moment or experience that shaped your career?
Oh, that shaped my career. There's been so many moments that shaped it. Okay, I think, I was like 20, and I was rewatching the Star Wars movies. That's why I started growing this. And I was also...
Like Anakin.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. By the way, I met him.
No.
And I almost crapped myself.
I'm a big Star Wars fan. All my
I met
team
him.
knows that. Shut up.
And I was like I walked by him like 4 times, like, okay, you just gotta walk up. You just gotta walk up. You just gotta shake his hand, say what's up. And it was super cool. Yeah,
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, dude, because they wanted me to cut this for grown-ups. That's why they make fun of it in the show. They were like, Trevor, I was like, I'm not gonna cut that. You know what this means? I'm a Jedi. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But so look, I started growing this. And I started, I was with a record label for 5 years. You know, that is what it was. And I left and I started, you know, because for the longest time they were like, hey, put this on, sing this song. We're gonna have this guy shoot the video and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? And I started realizing like, yo, I'm like living like it just didn't feel right. And so when I left, I started writing my own music. I started recording myself. I started, you know, and I didn't think I could write a song. You know, they're paying 10 grand, 15, 20 grand for a songwriter to come in, paying $5,000 for a vocal producer to come in. Yeah. And I'm having to pay all this money because I didn't think I could do it. Nobody said, hey, you know you can do this yourself, right? And so I think that was the pivotal moment for me musically and just businessman-wise. I was like, oh, I can just do it. I don't have to wait on this person. I don't have to wait on this person. Yeah. And for any of us out here, I'm talking to myself, because we'll do this. I don't know how to do it. You have a phone, you know how to do it. You have a phone. Google it, and you can find anything online. Hey, how do I start like a LLC, or how do I want to become an A&R? Yeah, how do I do this? How do I do that? You type it in your phone. And I want to start doing that more because, you know, we can be lazy and be like, I don't know how to do it, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to sit around and wait for somebody to come and do it for me instead of getting it done. So I think that for me, when I started writing and doing that, going back to this, I started playing guitar at the same time, and I fell in love with Prince again. So I knew who Prince was when I was young. You know, everybody's like, oh, but your dad singing Prince. Your mom's like, oh, who's this guy? He's a little weird, right? And he's a little weird. Then I grew up and I'm making music, and I'm like, yo, if he can go out there in a leotard and heels and play guitar and just rock the house, I can do anything I want. I can write my own music, I can play guitar, I can sing whatever song I want, however way I want to sing it. Yeah. And, you know, it really gave me strength and confidence. So that was kind of the pivotal, like, catalyst. That's when I started Rough Drafts 1. That was like the beginning of my freedom. Thank you. But that was like me stepping into my freedom, you know, and now ever since then, I don't do it unless I, you know, believe in it or wrote it or I'm directing the video. It's all coming out of like who I am. So.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And I love the Prince reference. I did marketing on his musicology album. I toured with him, which is pretty dope. He was an awesome human.
Yeah, I love him.
All right, looking back at your journey so far, what's a valuable lesson you've learned that you would like to pass on to others that are watching via live stream? What's up, live stream, as well as those in the audience?
I'd like to pass on. I think just be kind. I know it's simple and like cliche, but it's so important. I feel like we live in a world where it's like cool to be mean or like, you know what I mean? It's just there's no value in it. And life is too short. And when you get older, you realize like, wow, like I spent time, I could be helping someone, like tearing them down. And so, especially amongst ourselves, Black people, I feel like we got to do a better job of that. You know what I mean? And
I agree 100%.
So,
we knock each other
I will
down
say,
too much.
I will say it's not fully our fault. You know, we kind of grew up in a world where that's taught to us, like
The conditioning,
right? But we need to rewire that and just be more loving. You know, every room I go into, I'm hugging everybody. I don't care who it is. Like, hey, come here. Especially amongst us men, I feel like we see another Black man, we got to be like, hey, you know what I mean? Whoa, we got to just be, and instead of being like, hey, what's up? How are you, bro?
Yeah.
Looking good today. Give me a hug, you know? More stuff like that. So I think the love is just all I can really say. Spread the love, be kind. Life is too short for anything less than that. And yeah, you got it. If you leave with that, you're doing your job.
That's right.
You know?
And I think that's a testament to how you were raised. So again,
No, it has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do. I'm
So, you know, for those that are in the room, most are college students. And so for college students looking to work professionally in the future, what advice would you give them?
Do something that you love to do. Yeah, that you love to do. Because I feel like that's going to get you through all of the hurdles. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't love what I did, I would have given up a long time ago. But I think because I love it so much, it's helped me, you know? So don't do it for the money. Don't do it for the counterpart that you need or the car or the house that you'll eventually get. You know, find something that you love that you can do every day and that you feel like, hey, I get to do this and not, I got to wake up and go do this shit. Like, I don't want to, you know? You'd rather be like, I get to get up and go whatever that is for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yay. Yes. Give it up. Give it up. All right, one last question, and then we're going to get into some Q&A.
All right.
So looking ahead, what are some upcoming projects or initiatives that you're excited about?
I'm super excited about, sorry, I'm looking at my team. I totally forgot what I was supposed to say here. No, I'm kidding. I'm dropping a song tonight at midnight. It's called...
Wait, hold on. Set your phones now, if you're not up. Midnight.
Yeah, at midnight it's dropping, and then the EP drops May 14th.
Okay.
May 14th, put in the calendars. But yeah, it's a continuation kind of the last EP, so definitely check it out. And yeah, more to come. But I'm super excited about this stuff. Like I said, it's a continuation of that perspective of the guy he's the guy on the side. So he don't know is kind of self-explanatory, but the other songs are really cool too. And I just feel like I've just been making music freely. I've just been being honest and real, and it's turning out really good.
Love that. And this is the last season of Grownish, right?
Last season, sad, but beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
It's we
something to celebrate.
Yeah, it's the end of an era, man. I got to make family members, you know, being on that show. Those people are family to me, and all of you, everybody who's watched the show and has come up to me and been inspired by it, or my character has, you know, done anything positive for you in life like that. That to me is a win. You know, you can die tomorrow and be like, hey, I did something good. So I'm definitely happy I got to be a part of that.
You know, I could see you in superhero films. Is that something that's
yes, that's my dream. Yes, I would love that.
that? Yeah.
I want to be the first Black Batman, Silver Surfer, something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Y'all give it up again for Trevor Jackson.
Thank you, guys.
I also want to shout out our Climb Up Leadership Cohort for helping us to promote and coordinate this event. If you're in the cohort, stand up. STSU in the building. Silence to Shame University. All right. So where is Mia? How would you like to do the questions? Oh, right here? Okay, so we had the audience write down some questions, Trevor, so we're going to get into them. Okay. All right.
Do we get to know who's asking what question or no? These are just random. Okay. Okay, good.
And if you hear me read your question and you do want to raise your hand so he can acknowledge and see who it is, fine. If you want it to remain anonymous, that's fine too, right? Because we want you to know that this is a safe space, so whatever we talk about, you know, is you know, personal. All right, here we go. How have you conquered fear throughout the course of your career? Oh, and they actually said who it was from. Mariah and Caitlin from Decula, Georgia.
What up? How have I conquered fear? I don't think I've conquered it, but I've conquered the the paralyzation that fear brings, you know? I feel like everybody's afraid, but I keep doing it. Like, I always try to push myself. If I'm scared, I still go. There's a saying, it's like, if you're gonna jump, even if you're scared, still jump scared. And so I think the fear never goes away, but we can't let the fear paralyze us. We can't let the fear keep us from things that we gotta do, people we gotta help. You know, we're all here for a purpose. If we're breathing, there's something that we haven't done that has to be done. So, yeah, yeah, that's my answer.
That's great. Great question and good answer.
Great question, great question.
Okay, next. How do you balance mental health extracurricular activities like singing and acting?
One more time, sorry.
And I know we talked a little bit about this. How do you balance mental health extracurricular activities, you know, healthy ways to cope with activities like singing and dancing?
Yeah, I think like I was saying before, sometimes the breathing helps, making the music, the surfing. Yoga is good too. I've tried yoga. It's hard to keep up with yoga, man. It hurts. It hurts. Did that kind of answer it?
Okay, I don't know.
She said anything else?
Oh, no. Okay, very good.
That's all I got, that's all I got.
Okay, this next question is Gia from Clark Atlanta University.
Jill,
in the building. All right. So Trevor.
Yes.
Some, you know, listen to country music too. Does it calm you when you are frustrated, or does another genre help you? P.S. Don't judge me. I chose to write it on my phone. LOL.
It's all good. No, I love country music. Country music is kind of my favorite music to listen to for writing purposes. I think it's some of the best songwriters in the world write country music. And for some of you that don't know, so when I was started recording around like 15, there was like a group of songwriters, black R&B producers and writers, and they all moved to Nashville. And it's funny now when I hear a lot of country songs, they're R&B songs that, you know, these guys are singing. But yeah, I think that's some of my favorite. I just think the songwriting is so simple, but so smart. And yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of country music, like some of the lyrics, you know, have a lot to do with mental health, honestly.
Yeah.
Some of the things they're experiencing. And, you know, shout out to Beyonce and Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
All right, next question. This is from Simone, an STSU member. How has being in the public eye affected you mentally? And how did you overcome it? And what has it taught you?
Wow, it has a lot of effects, I think. Sometimes it's hard, you know, to hear that someone loves you when they don't know all of you, you know what I mean? And I feel like since I was young for a long time, whether I'm performing or something, like, I love you, and I'm like, you know. And it was difficult at a time, but I think the older I got, it was the self-love part that I was missing. I tried to depend on that, you know, for a long time. Hey, they love me, so I don't really need to love myself, you know what I mean? And so I think that was me kind of finding, you know, the control of that. So yeah. Took me a minute, but I'm better now.
Absolutely. All right, this next question is from Jayla. All right, point blank. When is the tour?
Ooh, hey, I want to do a college tour
Nicole,
for real.
when is the tour?
I want to do a college tour bad. We've been talking about that because it is the last season of Grownish. I want to do a college tour for sure.
So what would that entail? Performances and talks, maybe like this or something? Yeah.
Maybe talks, yeah,
Okay.
but performances for sure.
Do you love being on stage?
That's my favorite place. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they asked me like, "What is it about?" And I was like, "I feel like I'm." Wait, let me try and find it. I forgot what I said. I was like, when I'm on stage, it's like I'm so scared. We were talking about the fear. It's like I'm super scared. But then it's like I'm super strong at the same time. I don't know. It's like a paradoxical kind of vibe when I'm on stage. But it's definitely a freeing space. And especially when, you know, you got people singing your lyrics, you're like, hey, you know, it feels good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I will.
What'd you say?
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Absolutely. Sure. I'm sure they're going to work that out. All right, next question. What was the funniest scene you remember filming? And P.S., you ate in Let It Shine, one of my favorite Disney movies, from Kyla. And this is from Kyla, STS member. I know Auntie is old. I'm like, you ate? What does that mean? I guess that was you were good.
Yeah, you did a good job.
All right.
No crumbs. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Y'all got to teach Auntie. You know, I'm still learning. Okay.
Funniest scene. Wow. There's so many times. I'm the clown on set, you know what I mean? I just be laughing and just people like, Trevor, get it together. I'm like, all right. I just try not to take it too seriously, you know what I mean? I feel like it takes the fun away. Like, it shouldn't feel like a job. So I always try to make sure everybody, even if they're in a bad mood, I gotta make them laugh, do something like, hey, don't take it so serious. But the funniest scene, I don't know. But there's been many scenes. That's one of my best friends on the planet. And there's been scenes with me and him, we can't stop laughing. It'll just be, they're like, okay, we have to take a break. They'll be like, all right, we'll come back, because me and him, we can't even look at each other. We start cracking up. So there's been times like that, but I can't think of like an exact scene. And thank you for the Let It Shine comment. Appreciate that. Also, I want to speak to that real quick. For the longest time, I was disrespecting younger me. And I want to just give younger me props real quick.
Okay.
No, and I think we all do this, right? Like, you look at a picture and you're like, ooh, what was I wearing? Or who was that? Ooh, he was a dork, or she was weird. And those are the people that got you here, you know what I'm saying? So I've been having to do that with myself, like being proud of young me and like supporting young me. Young me was that fiery, that energetic person that was like, I don't care what they say, I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna do what I do. And it got me here now. So I'm just trying to do more of like remembering that guy. And so you guys should do the same.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, really give it up for that. I don't think I've quite heard somebody refer to it like that.
Yeah.
Because we are all hyper critical of ourselves, especially when you get to my age. And you kind of reflect and you go back, but
I disrespect you, and you're why you here.
That's
and I'm just like,
right.
I can't do that no more. But I did for the longest time. I used to hate on Let It Shine.
And I like that you were like, it's because of them. I'm here. Like, that's dope.
But since anything I did, even Lion King, I'm like, don't talk about that, or don't talk about that. Like, I'm this guy, and it's like, yo, this is a part of me. This is a part of my story, and I'm proud again.
That's
I'm
your
proud
legacy.
of that guy. Yeah.
Give it up for young Trevor. Yes, that's really dope. Okay, this is an important question, a little more serious. Throughout your life, have you ever felt you needed therapy?
I love therapy. I go to therapy all the time. I've had like 4 different ones. And let me say this, don't be discouraged if you try therapy and it doesn't work with that therapist. And be like, I tried it, it doesn't work for me. No, go and keep going until you find, it's like dating. Like, you're never gonna date again because you had a bad date. No, you keep going until you find the right person. And for me, I went through a few, and I'm with one right now that I really like. But yeah, I think therapy should be like required. It's like when you go to school, even as a young person, like you should just have an outlet. You should have a space, an unbiased opinion, and be able to speak, man. Because when you say something out loud to yourself, you're like, wait, what? I think like that, or wait, I said that, and it's a release. But I think it's one of the most important things I've done in life is go to therapy. And I commend everybody. You're not weird. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not crazy. You're a human being on a rock in the middle of space, okay? And there's a universe and galaxy, and we're just here. So it's okay to have questions and not really know how you feel about stuff. So it's great to have a place to say that. I remember I didn't say that for a long time. When I was in therapy, and I was like, how do you feel about being on a rock in the middle of space? Do you ever like get weird about it, or you feel, But to say that, people be like, what is he talking about? But somebody else might be like, oh, that makes sense. I never thought about that. So yeah, therapy is important.
I love that. Yeah, give it up. Because we talk about mental health, and mental health is how you think, how you act, and how you feel. That doesn't mean that you have a mental illness. We all have mental health just like we have physical health. And that's what we're trying to do at Silence the Shame, is just to peel back the layers of any shame and stigma and allow people, to get the support
freedom
that they need. Yeah, it is
the
freedom.
It's a prison of your own. If you don't give yourself the ability to heal yourself or find yourself, you are responsible for your own demise at that point, I think. When you have the outlet, when you have those, but it takes things like this and showing people that it's possible, showing the opportunity. But once the opportunity is there, take advantage, man. Don't try and, you're not too cool to be healthy and to better yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not weakness, it's strength.
It really is. Sure. And one of my, clap it up. One of our colleagues, Dr. Jay Barnett, I was interviewing him. He's a black male family therapist, and he used to be a former NFL player. And he said something that I thought was simple, but yet so profound. He said, shame loses its power when it's exposed. So if you can open up and talk about it, there's nothing to be ashamed about, right?
Yeah. And that's the beauty of therapy. No one else is gonna know, unless you want them to, but that's the beauty of it. It's like, that's literally their job. They can't tell anybody. So you have a safe space to talk about anything you want to talk about. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, next question is from Bree, an STSU member. Woohoo! What was your favorite show to work on, and how did it affect your mental health?
I think American Crime was one of my favorites, and I'm saying that because I was gonna quit acting before I did that. I was, I think I was 16 or something, 16, 17. And I just got off Let It Shine, and I was kind of like, man, I don't wanna act no more. And I remember I had the audition, and my mom was like, fine, just do this last audition, you don't have to do it anymore if you don't, you know what I mean? I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't even look at the script. I pull up there, I grab the script like when I get there and go into the audition, and I'm kind of like being just an a-hole. I'm just like, all right, what's up? Yeah, let's do it, all right. I'm looking like this, all right, what's the line? Okay, do the whole scene. I get done and their jaws are all open like, that's the best read we've ever seen. Oh my God. I'm like, wait, what? Y'all like that? And they were like, yeah, we're gonna bring you back to the network, you're amazing. And I ended up doing the show. And it just relit my fire for acting and just filmmaking. And I watched John Ridley, Timothy Hutton, Regina King, Andre 3000, all these people that I admire do their jobs, right? And just like, and even Andre, like, he kind of took it to another level for me in terms of like, okay, there's somewhere I can go, you know? Because I feel like he's just super creative like me in a way, and I'm just like, when he's not filming, the man's like, he showed me this thing that he does, and he's like, what I do is I take a pen and I close my eyes and I just kind of like scribble on the page. And then he said, and then whatever I see, I make a picture out of it, and I draw a picture. And I don't know why that for some reason kind of like mimicked life for me. It's like life kind of just throws itself at you and you have it and you're like, okay, what can I do with this? Instead of being like, oh, I needed a whole nother page or a whole nother, it's like, hey, I take what I got and I make the most out of it. So that was just super cool. But that lit my fire for acting. And right after that, I did Burning Sands. That relit my fire for acting. I got to go to Sundance for that. And yeah, just kind of changed my perspective on the whole thing.
That's awesome. All right, moving right along. Our next question is
Did you guys see these boots, by the way? Can we just make, come on. Those are fire.
My nephew used to say, Auntie, you flashy, but you know, it's okay.
Those are fire.
I used to work with artists like Prince and Andre 3000. I could be flashy every now and then. All right, next question is from Jaden. How did Grownish affect you and your cast members' mental health, and how did the producers make you feel comfortable discussing those issues?
Well, good thing is a lot of the producers were black, so it never felt like, hey, do this thing. You know, sometimes you get that feeling when you're in entertainment and it's like, sorry, but white people were like telling you to like do certain stuff as a black man. You're like, hold on. I remember I was working with somebody and they were like, because they knew I tap danced during a break, they were like, yeah, tap dance for us. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But you know what I mean? It's just like, you gotta be a little wary of that. But I will say, there was an episode, the Black Lives Matter episode. Avery Wilson, shout out Avery Wilson, one of the best male vocalists of all time. He came to set and he sang Strange Fruit. Now, I had never heard Strange Fruit like that before, right? Like you kind of hear it, but you're not really listening to the words. And he sang it, and because we shot it so many times, I'm catching words I didn't catch before. And I was vomiting tears. I was like, I had to leave set. And I didn't realize how much I hold in every single day, being black and like living. And I forgot, you know, I didn't forget, but like I feel like to survive or like to just go on, you gotta kind of like suppress some stuff. And I didn't realize how much I was doing that. You know, and just all of the stuff that my people have been through. And now I'm in this position, I'm on set, I'm the man, you know what I mean? And it just kind of was like, whoa, like it was just a whole kind of like whirlwind. So for me, it was a positive thing for my mental health to be able to expose that part of myself that I didn't realize I was holding in. And then me and Dig kind of discussed it too. And he was like, yeah, I felt that too, bro. Like, you know, just, it's a lot on your shoulders to walk around, you know, in this skin and like, you know, just knowing all the stuff we had to go through and then be in that position. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. It was powerful.
I think it's a lot of women in the room too. And I think, you know, we hold space. I'm sure you've seen your aunties, your mothers, your grandparents, or just women of color in general. And we have to be these strong women. Right, all the time, and I think it's something that, you know, dates back to the days of even of slavery rather, and just always having to be on and having, you know, that superwoman syndrome. And I just want to let the young ladies in the room know, like, we gotta like do away with the notion of we always have to just be the strong black woman. Yes, we are inherently strong, but we also have to honor our feelings. You have to take those moments to reflect day to day. We have to take those moments to celebrate the wins, celebrate the losses, and to cry if we need to cry. Get it out, y'all. I used to be in these big board meetings with all these folks in entertainment, but sometimes it's tough. Nicole, you know how tough it is in our industry, and I wouldn't necessarily let them see me cry, but if I needed to cry, I'd go outside or run to the bathroom or something. Let it out.
It's a gift. Crying is a
healing.
gift.
It is.
Crying is a gift.
It is really healing, and it's therapeutic. And when you lose loved ones, like, it's okay to grieve. And you know how we go about our day to day, and we so quickly ask someone, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm good." Next time, maybe ask your friend or your family member how they're feeling. Right, so we can honor our feelings and hold space there and create these safe spaces like Silence the Shame to be able to talk and share.
100%.
All right. So the last question I have, I don't know if we have any more. I don't know where Nia is, but no more questions. Okay. Last question is, what would you say your biggest struggle is with just mental health in general, you think, or even just for us as a people?
Healthier habits. Healthier habits. I think a lot of us too will. We might choose the thing that's more fun and the thing that's really going to help us out. You know what I mean? Like, you might be feeling bad and like, instead of going home and getting some rest, I'm going to go party, man. I'm going to go hang out and like stay up and, you know what I mean? Maybe do that instead of the actual thing that could help. So I think kind of balancing that for me is probably the hardest thing, but learning more tools to do so is helpful. So things like this and conversating and I think too, hanging around people that are on the same, thing as you. And sometimes it sucks because your best friend might be the one thing that's holding you back from your, you know what I mean? Or a family member. Right. I got family members that have said things to me and done things. I'm like, whoa, I cannot believe this.
That's
you
deep.
Know what I mean? Yeah. That's probably the most pain I've been in is family stuff.
Yeah.
Losing family members physically or just like not being able to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Be around them. And it sucks, but sometimes everybody can't go where you're going. If you got a place you got to be there, and we can't let nothing get in the way of our destiny or what we're supposed to, what we're supposed to do.
Absolutely. All great words of wisdom. Did anybody have one last burning question that you just had to get out? All right, one last question right here. Stand up.
Hey, nice to meet you. Congrats. Anything with Denzel Washington.
And the question was, what's his dream role?
Huh?
The question was, what's your dream role? I was letting them know.
Sorry. Yeah, anything with Denzel Washington in it. I'll play a tree, a bench, postman. I don't care. I don't even need lines in it. Maybe I can just be somebody that bumps into him and he keeps walking. I don't care. I just want to be in the same room as the guy. Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to Trevor Jackson.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
For sharing his insights and wisdom with us tonight. Trevor, your words have truly been inspiring. We're grateful for your openness and wisdom. I want to shout out our Silence the Shame team, Jewel Gooding, Nick, Nia, Megan, everybody that's watching. And a special thank you to Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities for sponsoring this event and supporting mental health awareness. We'd also like to extend our gratitude to our vendors, volunteers, and the Atlanta Police Department. I want to thank Kennard from Morehouse for allowing us to get this facility. So shout out to Morehouse and everybody on his team. And finally, thank you to our wonderful audience. That would be you and those that are watching virtually for your engagement and your thoughtful questions. Your presence has made this Fireside Chat a memorable and enriching experience. And if you do at least one thing for us, please complete our evaluation and let us know your thoughts. The evaluation is on the flyers that we handed out earlier, and it's also on the screen behind me. And you could just use the QR code. And after you complete that, the raffle, your name will be entered into the raffle for a prize. So let's continue to prioritize our mental health and support each other on our journeys to well-being. And just indulge me for like literally 30 seconds. Everybody repeat after me. I am love.
I am loved.
I am joy.
I am joy.
I am peace.
I am peace.
I am kindness.
I am kindness.
I'm everything I need to be.
I am everything I need to be.
I am enough.
Enough.
All right.
Wait. Your app. Auntie Shanti, don't you have a new app?
Yeah. You know what? See, look at you doing the work for Silence the Shame. Okay. Silence the Shame is proud to announce that we have a free mental health app coming out on May 5th. So you'll be able to download it on your iOS phones or Android phones. We're super excited. There will be content, daily affirmations. Hopefully we'll get Trevor to do a little daily dose video, other influencers and celebrities and athletes and other people of influence will be there. But more importantly, it's just to prioritize your mental health and kind of help you on your wellness journey. So we're super excited about that. And May 5th is National Silence to Shame Day. So we would love for you all to support us on this virtual day of awareness. We have photo frames where you can upload your own photo. You can create a video talking about your own mental health. And then follow us on Instagram at Silence to Shame. We also have a teen page if you have any other siblings or teenagers in your household. We have a Silence to Shame teen page. We have a youth advisory council. We have youth ambassadors and, of course, the STSU, and we'll have a new cohort that you can apply for in the fall. So, again, thank you to our staff. Thank you to everybody who showed up for themselves tonight. And thank you again, Trevor, and your beautiful family and team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. And we'll bring Miss Nia back.